So hard to see from the moment we arrive. Cornelia, you are one who will survive.
Hello, welcome back. Hope you're enjoying my Scotland trip. So today we're off to a very well photographed lighthouse, which is Neist or Neist Point. I think in the video I'll call it Neist, but I'm sure you'll tell me which way to pronounce it. And then I'm off to a very secluded cove. Good evening. Join me at Neist Point. There are an awful lot of cars up here, so I'm expecting that it's going to be quite busy at the end. So we'll see. Good luck.
It don't mean a thing what shape or form that you're in. The place you're from, your wealth or the car.
It's not actually that clear where the lighthouse is. You definitely can't see it from here. You see him, it's out there. Well, that solves that puzzle. There it is. What do you call a gang of photographers all stood in the same place taking the same shot? So you've got two options when you come off the road, off the car park. You can either go right and go right to the top, but that's where most people seem to go. And from up there, the lighthouse sits in the sea. So I've seen people do it before where you can get a shot with the lighthouse above the horizon, and it seems to be there's a path going off to the left, so I'm going to follow that down and hopefully that will take you down to a lower vantage point. You can see why people can't be bothered to do this route, because it's hellish steep. Lots of steps. It's steep going down, so it's going to be a hell of a lot steeper on the way back when it's obviously getting closer to dark. So you can see understand why people don't do it. But if you're a photographer and you want the best shot, then surely you've got to go out of your way and do what you need to do, really. So I've made it along to a different vantage point now. I've probably told you before in these videos you've seen I don't like heights, and I'm way up on a cliffside and I don't like it. I think I should have stayed up the top. Anyway, it's a glorious view. So I'm going to take a shot here and wait for sunset. Although it's going to be a little bit hairy walking back along that path when the sun goes down. But we'll see. Anyway, if you've got a head for heights, come down here, absolutely fine. If you haven't, stay up there, it's so much easier.
Put smiles on everyone. I think of you and of all that you have done.
Set up at the moment. I've got a 6-stop filter on to smooth out the sea. I've got a graduated filter to bring down the sky, and I'm just sat here waiting for the sun to light up the rocks as it's doing now. And a 2-second timer. 6 stops giving it a 2-second exposure time, and it's looking really nice actually. It was a hairy walk to get down here, but I'm actually quite pleased that I'm here. the sun is just giving the rocks a nice glow. It's got a yellowy green tinge to it anyway, and the sun is just lighting it up. The difficult part was finding where you actually wanted to put the lighthouse. It's not completely broken through the horizon, because if it was, you'd have to be down there, and I can already hear seabirds flapping below me. So I've gone as far down as I'm going, so I'm staying here. It's kind of breaking the horizon. I quite like it. It gives a break in that horizon, and I've got this big rock in the way as well, which keeps lighting up with the sun as the main dominant feature, and then your eye gets drawn out down the side of the cliff towards the lighthouse. So I like it, hope you do. So while I'm sat here, I thought I'd try some different things. So I've put the 70-200 lens on, and that obviously brings it a lot closer. I'm kind of torn. I don't know whether I like it or I don't like it, or I like it better. You miss out the massive jagged rock on the side, which I think gives the picture a lot more depth and more interest. Anyway, here's the 70-200 shot. Tell me what you think. So hopefully you enjoyed that. The adventure perched on the side of a really steep cliff. Obviously a beautiful scene, beautiful lighthouse. Not much as far as the sunset's concerned, but I don't think it matters, to be honest. I think those 10-stop filter shots where the sea was all smoothed out and the clouds are smooth in the background were definitely keepers. So I must have sat on that cliffside for the best part of an hour or 2 hours, something like that. And I took a number of different photographs. I was taking different exposures, I was taking different compositions as well. And when I got back into Lightroom, I found that there were some photographs where the clouds were quite fluffy and dominant. And then there were some other photographs where the water was all flattened out and the sky was streaky, because I'd left the lens, the aperture open for a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. And then I started to wonder, did I like the ones with the clouds? Did I like the ones with the flattened out sea, or did I actually like a combination of both? And when I mean a combination of both, I mean a composite image. And if you don't know what a composite image is, it's a part of one image and then a part of another image. And if you don't know how I did it, it's using Lightroom and Photoshop. And I'll just show you quickly what I did here. This is not a full editing session, just a quick overview of what I did. So here we are in Lightroom. This is the first image. So this is the one with the prominent clouds, so you actually see the clouds. It's something like a 5-second exposure. So this is the second image where the lens has been kept open for 2.5 minutes, something like that. The clouds are streaked across the sky and the waves have been flattened out during that time period. So if you select them both, then open them as layers within Photoshop. Then when you get into Photoshop, you want to make sure that they are aligned. So the first thing to do is to align them. And once you've done that, the easiest thing to cut out is the sky. So you make sure that the clouds are on the lowest layer and the smoothed out sea is on the top. Once you've done that, highlight and drag across using the cut tool. Just drag right across the sky, and so choose that piece of sky. Then click clear to get rid of that, and that will reveal the layer behind. And obviously that's where the clouds are. So you've now got a composite image of the photograph, which has been exposed for 2.5 minutes, and then the clouds in the background. Then all you have to do is crop it down, and there's your photograph. You've got a composite image. I don't know which I like the best, to be honest, so let me know what you think.
All you have burns to the sky. It's all too late, and you wonder why, Cornelia.
So that was the end of that day. The next day I got up quite early, and I went to, as I said earlier, a secluded cove. So I went to a secluded cove. I can't say that. So I went to a secluded cove. Here we go.
I would do anything just to get you back again. I would do anything at all. I know I'm not innocent, and you deserve a better man. But let me just hold your hand once more. Ooh, 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 I wanna take you out. Ooh, 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 show you what I'm all about. Ooh, ooh, make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. 'Cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been.
So it's day 5 in Scotland. I think it's day 2 or 3 on Skye. And I wasn't going to vlog this particular location because it's not in any of the guidebooks, so I didn't really know what to expect. However, what a place. So this is Coral Beach, and if you don't know where it is, you go to Dunvegan Castle and then you carry on probably about another 2 miles until the road runs out really, and then it's a mile walk when you get into the car park. Now on the way here I didn't really know what to expect. I had seen signs saying that it was, you know, coral beaches and blue seas, but my god, it's stunning. And I was just taking some photographs, so there's some leading line shots here with the beach curving right to the left, leading out onto the promontories, which is really, really pretty.
I only care about your soft skin. 'Cause we're still sleeping in my head. There's a new part of me, a part I want you to see. You haven't seen the
And then just as I was taking those photographs, 2 seals just popped their heads up. So I became wildlife photographer instead of landscape photographer. So I'll show you some of the images. I must have taken about 100 images of these seals' heads, but they were just popping around. I think they were mating, or they were being a bit snoggy anyway. So. What a place.
me, I know. You can try to fool yourself like you love somebody else, but you and him will never feel the way we do. Ooh, 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 I wanna take you out. Ooh, 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 show you what I'm all about. Ooh, ooh, make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love.
Quite a few intimate low down rock shots as well, so I've taken a couple of those. I don't excel at those, so I'll have to have a look when I get home and see how they turn out.
I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. 'Cause we're still sleeping in my.
But otherwise we got bright sunshine, nice fat fluffy clouds, blue seas, seals bobbing around. There are a bunch of hair over there which seem to be really, really seals actually. Just popped their heads up over there. You won't be able to see on the GoPro, so I'm not even going to bother showing you. So there's some hair over there, and they're quite tame as well. There's hundreds of them just running around.
I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin. 'Cause we're still sleeping in my.
I don't actually know how long this beach is, so I'm going to carry on around this corner, and who knows, the way things are going at the moment, there's probably some dancing unicorns around the corner, and I just need to go around there and see them. Skye just never ceases to amaze, really. I was just saying in the car that I'd never seen a Highland cow, and then all of a sudden within 30 seconds there was a Highland cow. I then said I need to see deer, because I haven't seen deer yet, and then there were a herd of deer. I was wishing for seal on this beach, although I had no idea they'd be here, and then 2 popped up. It's just wow. Here are those hair holes, they're all over the beach. I'm just going to climb to the top of this little hill and see if I can show you the view from the top. If you saw my video, my last video, I fell in the fairy pools and injured my leg, so this is going to be quite a chore. All in the interests of the scenery. You can't believe how blue the sea is. You seriously could be in the Caribbean with the sun and the coral sands and the blue ocean. It's just words can't describe, really. It's just about a video in it, isn't it? Right then, Coral Beach. Put it on your list of places to come to. Cracking.